Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the player ratings. Everton 0, Liverpool 0. The Merseyside derby's ended. Well, let's be honest. With Everton happier, Everton fans happier. For obvious reasons. We've took a point and we've dented the tightrope. Let's not mess about. Let's not make excuses. That's what we're all happy about. So there you go. Yeah, decent performance. Hard working. On and off the pitch, fans were amazing. Players worked hard. Okay, weren't attackingly brilliant, but listen, you could see the difference in the two teams. You could see the gulf in the way they played and the way they were drilled. They were faster to the ball, better using the ball, have a lot more pace up front. And in Virgil van Dijk, I thought had the outstanding player on the pitch. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Just the way he never really had to break stride. Nothing really troubled him. But that saying, you know, we tried to ruffle his feathers a little bit. So 0-0, fair result. I think there was very little. Okay, they had the clear-cut chances. I am fully aware of that. But yeah. So John Pickford, I'm going to give him an 8. He made an absolutely magnificent save in the first half from Mo Salah. That if they'd scored then, who knows how the day would have finished. But a really big moment in the game, and obviously after what happened at Anfield was a really important save. And his distribution wasn't brilliant, but listen, I don't know what the conditions were like. You know, Jurgen Klopp said it was, the wind was a major factor in them not winning. So you've got to put that into it, haven't you? When you're talking about his kicking, obviously. All day, the plan was to try and get over to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I thought he was pretty assured. There was a lot of sort of balls just flying around the box, and I thought he did well all game. So I've given him an 8. Seamus Coleman, I thought Seamus had his best game in a long time. I thought he was up and down the pitch. I thought he defended well. I thought he led like a captain. I thought he was everything you wanted him to be, and a little bit more, and showing a little bit of the Seamus of the past. Always trying to overlap and always trying to get in. Didn't always work, but he tried. That's the main thing. He was trying. He had the bit between his teeth, and it's not easy when you're playing against the Liverpool's front three. The way they move, you can be caught out very easy. You've got to keep that discipline. So I will give him a 7.5. I will give him. On the other side, Luca Dean, I thought he struggled just a little bit more because of Salah. Salah was on him all the time, and I think too many times in the first half he tried to match him for pace, whereas really he should have been giving him a yard and stand them off on him and saying beat me, because I think that's where Dean's actually better. I think Dean's a brilliant tackler, brilliant recovery tackler. But he let him get one-on-one with him far too many times. And I think that's what Salah likes. Salah likes the defender being close to him because it allows him either to beat him with the pace or go down. And it's always one or the other, isn't it? So, but I thought second half he recovered from that. Got his foot in a few times where we really needed him to. And yeah, it wasn't his best performance in an Everton shirt, but tried to offer something attacking-wise as well. Nearly got us a penalty. Like that much would have been a penalty. So I'll give him a 7. I thought it was a mixed game for him, but I'll give him a 7. Michael Keane, I'll have to give him an 8 because of some of his pretty good in the air. Okay, he made the odd mistake, lacking in possession. Played one actually really good ball over the top to Theo Walcott. That if maybe a Theo Walcott in form, or if Everton winning 3-0, or he was playing for Arsenal, then he would have took it on a little bit more and had a shot. But one absolutely amazing interception to stop Salah scoring in the second half. But I thought he played well, so I'll give him an 8. Kurt Zouma returning to the side, I'll give him a 7.5. Pretty steady, was the pace we needed. Okay, he's not the most. He doesn't show the most finesse in the world at times. But as a defender, he does his job. He's got the pace, and he did what he needed to do today. Again, like a lot of our players, sometimes just doesn't look after the ball well enough, and sometimes just kicks in the wrong places or does the wrong thing. But I thought he put pretty steady game. I'll give him a 7.5. Into midfield, Schneidlin, I'll give him a 7. Thought he was pretty steady, was pretty calm on the ball without doing anything crazy or brilliant. Give us that height we needed from set pieces, whether defending them or attacking them, but more importantly defending them, and just was pretty steady. The odd poor pass, but just kept things ticking over, and I think that's why he's been back on the side, just to calm everything down and help us defend set pieces and obviously just defend with the low block. Garner, I'll give a 7.5. I thought he was everywhere, all over the pitch, getting his foot in, making sure they didn't break forward. Two really clumsy pieces of possession in the first half. Sorry, one that led to Salah getting the 1-on-1, and then another one about 2 minutes later that they nearly profited from. But barring those two pieces of poor possession, I thought he was excellent for the rest of the game. So that's why he's getting a 7.5. Probably would have got a little bit more if it hadn't been for those lapses of concentration. But yeah, so I'll give him that. Sigurdsson worked really hard. Probably our best player in possession. Great feet. Always trying to find an angle. Got caught in possession a couple of times where no one was moving for him. But I thought he had an excellent game. He worked really, really hard for us. I'll give him a 7.5 as well. Thought he really worked hard. And there's one late on, the one where Richarlison nicked it across the box, and he was in that position he likes coming into, just on the edge of the box. And everyone's thinking, Richarlison, just pull it back to him and let him have a strike. He didn't, and he put it across. And you know what? Fair enough, because if Bernard didn't have size 4 feet, he's knocking that in, or someone's knocking that in. He had two options. He chose that one. I'm not going to have a go on him for choosing that one. But he's our Gylfi's our most gifted player, and I would love to see him with a proper centre forward up front, who because I think he would get so many more assists. Bernard, 7. Always a threat, but just couldn't make the final ball or trying to get past someone the final time. But hard working, gets back, defends. As I said, always a threat, but just didn't have an end product today. Came really close, as I said. If he had size 5s instead of size 4s, he would have got a goal today. I'm sure he would have. Very unfortunate not to knock it in, but hard working, as I said. Just couldn't find the final ball. Kept Alexander-Arnold on his toes all game. Upset him, I think, a few times. The lad didn't look steady at all. Again, it's having that centre forward in front of him who move into space for him, or someone in midfield who move into space for him. So, yeah, thought he played well. On the opposite side, Theo Walcott, I'll give a 6.5. Quite wasteful in possession. Worked hard, don't get me wrong, but wasteful. Had a couple of opportunities. Got booked early on, but, for nothing. But as I said earlier, Michael Keane put a great ball over the top to him, and it got the other side of the defender, and just no composure. And I think it's confidence with Theo Walcott. I genuinely do. I genuinely believe if he got in half the positions he's in, and we were winning 2-0, 3-0, he'd be fine. It's like the other night when Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores. Is Dominic Calvert-Lewin going to take that shot on if it's 0-0? No. And I think Theo Walcott is in that position at the moment where, when he was at Arsenal, I think, not all the time, but he was full of confidence, and a lot of goals he scored would be, maybe a second in a game or a third in a game. And he's being asked sometimes to be the difference for us, and he just, confidence-wise, hasn't got it. So I say it's not for the ones to try, and I'm not having a go with the lads. He's just not quite there. And again, it's one of those things where he's not putting it all together. And if he did, I think, maybe, I don't know. No, I don't think it's going to happen this season for him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I'll give a 7.5. I thought he worked his bollocks off today. And as I said earlier, against someone like Virgil van Dijk, who is probably the best centre-back at the moment in the Premier League. If you want to improve as a striker, you've got to look at going up against him and seeing what you can do against him. I think physically he tried to take him on. He was making sure he always got in there first, getting his body into him. But, apart from one header, I think, from a corner, really didn't upset him too much. But he worked hard and he tried to create space and he tried to close people down. And he just, the other side of the game, the actual scoring and the making chances bit, just wasn't quite there today. But it's hard when you're playing up front on your own, and he really was playing up front on his own. It's a difficult thing. So, I'll give him, what did I give him? 7.5. He run his bollocks off and was subbed, obviously. Richarlison came on. Richarlison, I thought, was pretty good when he came on. I'll give him a 7.5 as well. He looked like he was well up for it, trying to do the right things in the right areas. I think when Richarlison does that, you get the player that he is. He was onto it today. He looked like he knew what his job was to do when he came on, and he tried to do. And as I said, the one where he got the chance to pull it back to Sigurdsson or put it across, and he chose putting it across. And as I say, on another day, that either drops to Bernard or someone's at the far post with a tap-in. Just wasn't to be today. It just never seems to be the day when we play them. But yeah, I thought he did well when he came on. Cenk Tosun, run around a bit unlucky. I'll give him a 7. Again, tried to affect the game, couldn't really. Ridiculous free kick on him when I think it should have been a corner, and they give a foul to them. Absolutely pathetic referee shite again, just for the little fouls. And Gomez, I'll give a 7 as well. When he came on, he was straight into it. One where he got the ball and broke forward, and I thought we were just going to create something, and we just failed to. But can't really fault anyone today. They all put a shift in. They all worked hard. It happened more for some than it did for others, but can't really argue with that. Fans, 10. Brilliant today. Absolutely brilliant. The fans get a 10 because he was sensational today. And it'd be great if Goodison could be like that. I'm not saying it would be like that, but just a little bit like that for every game. Just fans up for it. Z-Cars as well with the sirens. I love it a bit. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are your player ratings? Have I been too harsh? Have I been a little bit over the top on some players? Let me know. Check out all our other videos. I'll see you later.